I should be on Town Central. Today we're going to use Ralston's account. Poor Ralston, every time I use his account for training, his website changes and he never knows what it's going to look like at the end. But today we're going to build some interior pages. All right. So the first thing I want to do when I'm on Town Central is we are going to go over to SiteBuilder. We're going to go down to Collections, and then we're going to go to Interior Pages. Just remember that the site editor is for everything on the home page. But if you're building any kind of landing page or any kind of page for your website at all, if it's not the home page, it's considered an interior page. And that's what we're going to be working with today. I'm just going to click Interior Pages. And this is going to bring us to a list of all the interior pages on your website. Now, if you haven't built any interior pages before, this list may be short. And then we have agents who have 20, 30, 40 landing pages all the way up to Lewis, who I know is in the room, who has thousands on his website right now. And each one of these landing pages represents a different page on your website. I want to give you an example here. Notice that this one says Allenton. I've already built a landing page for the Allenton subdivision on Ralston's site. And I want to show you what that looks like.
If I may interrupt for just a moment, do you mind increasing your screen size for us?
Sure. Hold on 1 second. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great. So as I was saying, here's the Allenton page that I've already built for Ralston. Notice that the category is called SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Google loves landing pages. It particularly loves neighborhood and niche market landing pages. And the reason we call these SEO, or Search Optimization, is because these pages are specifically created for Google to find so that you can curate information to put out to people. All right, I am going to show you that Allenton page before we get started so you can kind of see where we're going to end up today. Now, this is a really simple page. I didn't put a lot of effort into it. I just went ahead and built all the little elements that went with it. This is probably our simplest page. It's the easiest one to build. It's going to be the one we're going to start with today. But I'm also going to show you how fancy they can get with all of our different templates that we have available. But I wanted to show you the different options here. Notice this says ralstonaudain.com/Allenton at the top. So that URL is fantastic to use on things like postcards, e-cards, sharing it to Facebook, putting it on your social media, and it will take people directly down to this page. You have the option of creating whatever comes after that slash, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. In this case, we're keeping it nice and simple. We're just going to have Allenton. Maybe Ralston is doing some neighborhood prospecting into Allenton. He wants to put, that you can view all homes for sale. You can get the value of your Allenton home on his postcard that he's sending out. And we want to direct people down to something nice and simple and easy to remember, ralstonaudain.com/Allenton. So you have a headline here. In this case, I just did Allenton homes for sale. There we go. And then looking for your next Allenton home, I can show you any home in the community. Contact me today for more information. This is just a nice text box. You can put as much or as little in here as you'd like. A lot of people put the description of the community. They can put other information in here, a way to some kind of call to action, whatever you'd like to put in that text box. In this case, this particular page also had a small picture. We always encourage people to make it local. So if we were doing something for Allenton, we might want to take maybe a streetscape, go into the community, take a great shot down one of the roads, show typical houses. This is a great place to, if you have a listing in a particular neighborhood, make sure you take a photo maybe of the streetscape with your for sale sign on it. Always encourage people to do that. This is also a great place to put something like a community entrance. Our areas have so many unique entrances. It's very unique to our area to have this many subdivisions, and it's always wonderful to put the entrance to the subdivision here as well. So that's just a single photo that you can put in here. I'm going to show you how to build this page that also includes all the listings on the bottom. So here's all the homes for sale, and I included under contract for the Allenton subdivision. Right now, with everything moving so quickly, you might see a for sale sign in front of a house, but they may not know that it's under contract already. So I've gone ahead and included the under contracts in here as well. You have the option of showing active, under contract, and you also have the option of showing sold. So if you actually wanted to show a page of all the different solds in a community, you can do that as well. All right, I'm going to go back to those interior pages. Again, I'm on Town Central, and I've gone to SiteBuilder.
Kristen,
Yes.
There's a question here that I think might be answered real
Sure.
quick. So for the neighborhood pages, would it always be SEO, or is that the best one or recommended from the choices?
It's always SEO, and that's the only page other than a featured property that you can attach listings to on the bottom. Does that answer the question?
Julian, does that answer your? Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so again, I'm at SiteBuilder, Collections, and then Interior Pages. So I'm going to go ahead and add a page, and we're going to go ahead and get started on this process. I'm going to hit Add. And notice we have lots of different categories. We've gone over these in other trainings, but today we're going to look at this page right here, the SEO. And if I click that, it's going to want me to do two things. It's going to want me to give it a name. So this is going to be whatever your page happens to be about. And then it's also going to ask me to pick out a layout for this page. So in this case, we're going to do an SEO page. And I'm going to do, well, since I live in Smithfield, I'm going to do the entire 23430 zip code, all homes for sale in Smithfield. Okay, this can be anything. This can be a neighborhood. You can even put 200 to 300,000 if you wanted to put it in here. You can put whatever you want to in that label. And then it's going to ask me to choose a layout. So I'm just going to drop down and hit SEO page, and it's going to show you all the different layouts that are available. Okay, we have a few choices here, and some of them are fancier than others, and some of them are quite simple. So the one that I just showed you, the example, this was the first one. This is probably the most popular one that everybody uses, and it's going to show you all the elements on the page. So it's showing you have a headline, and it's going to have a single photo, and then it's going to have a paragraph that you can use. The houses are going to be below. Okay. There's lots of other options here. So you have something that has a map and a page with a paragraph on it. This is another really popular one. If you've done a community video, maybe you've used Videolicious or Paradigm, or you've had one of our professional photographers, create a community video for you with just a slideshow of all the amenities, things that are around the community. You actually have a page where you can upload a video to it, and then also upload a photo, and you can have two different paragraphs. I've also seen this where agents have put their bio. So if you have a video bio, and you can do something about meet the agent that's an expert in this community, that's a great place for that as well. A couple of other layouts to note. This one is called Advanced Editor. Sounds really fancy, but it's not. What that means is that box has the ability to put HTML in it. So for those of you who might be using the How Much Is Your Home Worth widget that's available on buy side, this is the kind of page that we would use to make sure that we could drop that little bit of coding in there so that you could have a How Much Is Your Home Worth button on this actual page as well. This allows us to also put multiple photos. It allows us to create our own paragraphs. Maybe we want to put 4 or 5 photos on a single paragraph and we don't have that available to us. That's what that advanced editor does. Basically opens up something that looks a little bit like Microsoft Word or an email, and it allows you to drop things in. Then we get a little bit fancier. So some of these, I'm actually going to blow my screen up just a hair more. Hopefully you guys can see this. We'll have to bring it back down again when we go back in. All right. So then we start to get into more images. This one features a homepage slider, and then it also has multiple images that you can put in with a paragraph underneath it. This one has a huge background photo that goes all the way across the page with some text on top of it that has some text underneath. And then we get into the ones that look kind of like little mini websites. I know it's going to be hard to see on here, but this little line that's under here actually has links on it. So we have agents who have built these almost little mini websites for certain communities, especially ones that they focus on, where they have a beautiful backdrop of the community, a nice big headline of the community with a little bit of writing underneath it. And then you might have links. So maybe you have links to homes for sale, homes that have sold, an agent bio, contact you, how much is your Allenton home worth? You can put these little links on here and almost make them like little mini community sites. These are fantastic for communities that might have an HOA that you might want to link off to, golf course communities where you may want to direct them to see all the community amenities, and also communities that have mixed styles. So you might be able to say, view all single family homes in this community, or view all condos or townhouses in this community, and split those up. So this is a very useful page if you want to build out a fairly large SEO page that might be used as almost a mini website. And this version also works the same, except you have just a hair more text up in the top button here. So just to keep things simple, I'm going to go ahead and use the simple page that we've already built, that we built for Allenton, and that way you can see how all these elements work, because it works the same for every single page that's on here. All right. I'm just going to hit the Create button at the bottom. And it's going to bring me back to that interior pages link. I need to reduce the size on this just a second. Here we go. Now notice that it added it to our interior page links. Okay. So these are all in alphabetical order. So depending on what you named your page, so in this case, it was, here's Virginia Beach 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is down at the bottom of the page. We added 2, 3, 4, 3, 0. It's up here. And I'm going to go ahead and go to Edit Page. It's going to bring me up to a blank page. Notice that there's nothing attached to this, but we can fill in the headline. We know we need to fill in some text. We need to add a photo, and we need to add the properties that are going to go here on the bottom. I'm going to click Interior Pages on the left-hand side of the screen, and it's going to bring up all the different elements that we need to select. So in our headline, I'm going to say, view all Smithfield homes for sale. Okay. And you can put whatever you want to on that headline. Now, you do need to know that that headline is important. This is one of those tips and tricks. This is the fancy name for this headline is called H1. It is the one thing on this page that Google will read all the time. Even if it doesn't read or index or touch this paragraph down here, it's always going to look at this. So make sure that this is descriptive, and make sure it tells somebody exactly what's on this page. Okay. Then it's just going to ask to fill in a little bit of a paragraph here. I'm just going to put in something nice and simple. Okay. You can link in this little box here. Something like this: contact me to view any home on this page. Maybe I want to link that contact me to my contact form. So on my live website, here I'm on Ralston's website, I have a contact page. Here's a nice contact form. I'm going to grab this link. Okay, just copying it. I'm going to highlight contact me. And I'm going to insert this link. All I did was paste it. And I'm going to hit OK. Now, when somebody comes onto my website and they come onto this page, if they just hover over Contact Me and they click that, it's going to take them to the contact form. Okay. So we need to select an image that's going to go here. So I'm going to choose our interior image. You can see this Cabernet button. I'm going to just choose a generic image for the time being. All we're doing is clicking on that. Notice the Cabernet button comes around it. And then I'm going to hit Select Image. And it's going to load. But now the most important thing, we need to attach the search that creates the homes that go on the bottom of this page. So if you've already created the search, it will be in your dropdown. Okay. If you haven't, just go ahead and click this Cabernet button right here that says Create New Save Search. And we're going to create a save search that goes directly for this page. So when I click that, it's going to take me to the search function. Now this will look exactly like the live search that's on your website, except notice that we're still in Town Central. Okay. Once we select all of our criteria, we're going to go ahead and hit this big Save Search button right here, and that will allow us to attach the Save Search to our page. In this case, I'm going to put in something nice and simple. Enter a location or MLS. So 23430. And hit go. It's bringing up all the homes for sale right now in Smithfield. Now, we can change any of this criteria if we wanted to. So if I didn't want to show all the under contracts, I just wanted to show the for sale, I can do that by just clicking the for. If I didn't want to show rental or commercial or vacant land, if I just wanted to show residential property, I can just uncheck that and hit submit. Okay. Now we have 88 search results. I'm going to hit save search. And it's asking me what I'm saving the search for. So in one of my last classes, we did it for a selected client, but in this case, we're going to do it for my website. We're going to just hit the continue button. And it's asking us to give us a name for the save search. So I'm going to just say Smithfield Homes for Sale. Hit submit. So it's asking us what we want to do. Do we want to stay on the current page or do we want to go to our Save Search Manager? If you have more searches to create for more pages, you can stay on this current page, or you can go to your Save Search Manager and you can see all the searches that you've already saved. I'm going to go ahead to the Save Search Manager just so you can see what that looks like.
Kristen,
Yep.
I have a question. Well,
Sure.
For the mini websites, can you add video to that one, like a community tour?
The mini websites, one of the pages has what we call the advanced editor and one of them does not. So you should be able to embed something from, if you upload it to Marketing Resource or if you have something on Vimeo or YouTube, you should be able to use an embedded feature for that.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome. All right, so we can see our saved searches here. Here's our Smithfield Homes for Sale. Here's our nice long technical link we're not going to need. All right, so we're going to go back to our interior page and we're going to connect these two. So we're connecting the saved search to the page. I'm going back up to SiteBuilder, Collections, Interior Pages. Here's the page we were working on, 23430. I'm going to go ahead and edit that page again. I want you to see that all the changes that we made are still there. So this can be a working document. We haven't published it yet. You know, sometimes you have to walk away, but all the changes that we've already made are still there. I'm going to go ahead and click Interior Pages on the left-hand side because that's what we're working with. And remember I said once we create a save search, it's available in the drop-down. So here's our Smithfield Homes for Sale. Just going to give it a second to load. Notice it went from 0 properties to 88. And here they are. Okay. As soon as I'm done, I have a photo, I've got my text, everything looks fantastic. I can go ahead and publish this page. Until I publish this page, everything is just hidden in the background. Google's not going to find it. You can't use it in any of your marketing materials. It just exists on Town Central. It's not published anywhere. As soon as you're ready to go, you can go ahead and publish the page. And that's it. We should be able to view it live on the website. Now remember, I said that the SEO name would create the URL. In this case, we actually created one that said 23430. So if I go back to ralstonaudain.com/23430, there's the page we just created. You can go ahead and share this URL on Facebook. You can put it in any of your marketing materials. You can go ahead and use it. It's live right now. That's the simple way to create an SEO neighborhood landing page. I want to show you a couple of other advanced options while we have a couple of minutes. Okay. Tim, can you give me a subdivision that you know has homes for sale right now?
Talbot Park.
Talbot Park? Perfect. Let's make one for Talbot Park. I'm going to go ahead and hit add. We're going to go to SEO. Remember, we're going to name that SEO page. So here's Talbot Park and SEO page. I'm going to show you the advanced editor just so you can see what that looks like. And I'm going to hit create. Now remember, this is going to be alphabetical. It's taking us back to the interior pages. And here's Talbot Park right down here. And we're going to edit that page. Okay. Going back to interior pages. Now, remember I said that the page editor would pop up, and this will allow us to do anything custom that we wanted to. If I click that page editor, I just want to show you what that looks like. Okay. This will allow you to drop in extra images. It allows you to do more formatted text. If you were to create something that you wanted a neighborhood video for and you wanted to embed it off of YouTube, you'd be able to put that in here as well. So this would allow you to just expand all of your possibilities. If you have any kind of custom images or anything else that you want to use for this page, you can go ahead and put it in this box. I just wanted to show you what that box would look like. Okay. But let's go ahead and create a new save search. This time we're going to get a little more complicated. I'm going to show you the advanced search functions. So instead of putting Talbot Park in this box here, we're actually going to do an advanced search, and we're going to go right to the neighborhood names. So I'm going to click More, and then Advanced Search. It's going to ask you which MLS you want. We obviously service all 3 MLSs in our area. Most people click Rain, so I'm just going to click the Rain MLS. So the question that comes up pretty often out of some of our other offices is, can you combine MLS results? And you cannot. You do have to actually choose your primary MLS where the majority of the listings are. This usually only applies for Gloucester and Williamsburg. So notice that we have multiple tabs up here. We have a detailed criteria. You can go directly to a city. You can even do a save search by a school district, a neighborhood, or a zip code. In this case, we're going to go to the neighborhood tab. And here are all of our neighborhoods. These are all the subdivisions that are listed in the Rain subdivision or the Rain MLS. I'm going to click T. Here's Talbot Park. I'm just going to put a check mark next to this. So another question that comes up fairly often is, can I attach more than one subdivision to a search? And that's totally okay. These subdivisions have nothing related to do with each other, but if I wanted to check all 4 of those, that save search would include all 4 subdivisions. In this case, I'm going to leave Talbot Park. We're going to hit that calculate button at the bottom, and it's going to let us know that there's 5 properties available right now. I'm going to hit submit search. And we're going to go through the exact same criteria that we did before. We're just going to hit save search. It's going to be saved from my website. I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to give it a name, Talbot Park Homes for Sale, and hit submit.
Kristen, we have a question on that.
Sure.
Is that pulling from multiple MLSs or just from Rain?
Just from Rain.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to go back to that interior page again. So we're going to go to SiteBuilder, Collections, Interior Pages. Remember, we're going to attach that save search to the page we just created. So I'm going to scroll down, go to Talbot, and hit Edit Page. Go to Interior Pages on the left-hand side. And there's Talbot Park Homes for Sale. Should populate the 5 listings that came in here. Yep, still thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Had this happen on occasion where it didn't show up here, but once I published the page, it did. So let's try that. There we go. So if that ever happens to you, just hit publish page and it often shows up. Okay. There's your 5 homes. And since I hit publish page, it's ready to go. So anytime space in between your words, when you created your SEO page, the system is going to create a dash. So in this case, it's going to be Talbot dash Park. And now it's ready to go. And we can go ahead and use this at any time. I have one more second. I don't want to build another page quite yet, but I do want to show you another option that you can do with the save searches. I'm going to go ahead and create a new save search. I want to show you that you can combine multiple criteria on here. So you can actually save a search just like you can do in MLS. So if I go to More and Advanced Search again, and I'm going to click Rain MLS. Okay. I wanted to show you this detailed criteria. So you can create a save search that's actually quite complicated. So if you wanted to have something very specific, if you maybe wanted only brick homes, you could do something like exterior siding. It was brick. And maybe you only want brick homes that have fenced yards. You can actually do something like that as well. So notice your criteria comes over here. So it's yes, here's brick. You can keep adding as many things as you'd like on here. And once you hit calculate, it's going to let you know how many number of the properties. We have 1,561 properties currently in the MLS that are brick siding with fencing. You can add other criteria to this as well. So you have a detailed criteria. You want all brick homes with fences in a particular school district. You can do that. You can add a particular zip code to this, or a city even. So you can keep adding criteria to this as much as you'd like. So maybe we'll do all brick homes with a fence that's over an acre. Maybe this is a good save search and a good landing page for people who own pets. So here we have a property count of 98. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit search. And I know this is just silly, but yes, this is every brick home. This is currently every brick home in the MLS that is for sale or under contract that is brick in our MLS and has a fenced backyard and has over an acre with it. We can even change, we can keep adding criteria to this if you'd like. Maybe we only want single families. We only want to show for sale. So there we go. So yeah, we can keep adding. Go ahead and save it and create another save search. If you make a mistake for whatever reason, you can always clear your advanced search. There's a giant red button here. And that takes us back to the beginning. So it has cleared out all of our save search criteria that we've done, and we can actually go ahead and just start over. So I don't want you to think about this as just being able to create a neighborhood landing page, which is probably what the majority of people use it for. But you can use it to create landing pages for basically anything you can search on in the MLS. So if you have a niche for a particular school district, if you have a niche for water, if you have a niche for acreage, we have all sorts of landing pages that our agents build for lots of different things. Don't think that you're limited to just neighborhood. You can actually get these and use them in lots of different marketing pieces, lots of different social advertising, lots of different e-cards. And start segmenting out some of your groups to be able to send out some of these niche landing pages to people. As Rawson said, it's also good. You can actually set up a landing page instead of naming it for a subdivision. You can always name it for Mr. and Mrs. Jones, put their picture in it and put their criteria on there and let them share that with their friends so that they can start looking at different houses for these people, collectively. That's always fun. It's a great way to get your name out there. You can be creative with these neighborhood and SEO landing pages. You can basically use them for anything. So hopefully you all found this helpful today, and I'm happy to take any additional questions you have.
Julian has a question for you.
Sure.
Hello, good morning. I saw where Rawson said that you can't pull from like multiple MLSs. Is there, because I'm thinking of like, for example, like with Williamsburg, some of the homes that are listed in Williamsburg aren't in Rain, and then vice versa. Do you have a suggestion or like a workaround?
So we do have a workaround. Tim, Rawson, do we have time to show polygons real quick?
Yep, go for it.
All right. So this is one of those advanced tips and tricks that we have. All right, I need to back completely out of here. Hold on one second. All right. So in order to get multiple property types, single family and condo with advanced criteria on it, or to get multiple MLSs, you need to actually draw on the map. Okay. So let me take a subdivision. Williamsburg is a good example here. I'm just going to go ahead and blow up this map so that I can kind of see where I'm going here.
Looks like you've got lots of houses down in Governor's Land at your bottom left.
Here we go, Governor's Land. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so this is the Governor's Land subdivision right here. Okay, it goes, oops. It extends all the way from Route 5, and you can kind of see where the lines are, and it extends all the way into both rivers here. And we're just going to draw on the map and draw around this. So I wanted to, it's going to update here real quick. Notice that those two listings right there are coming out of two different MLSs. So actually, that's one of our listings. This listing is in Williamsburg, and this particular listing is also in the Williamsburg MLS. So on the map, you're going to notice this little button called Polygon. We very rarely use it. If you click on Polygon, it's going to disappear, but what it's going to allow you to do is start to create a box. So I'm just going to click anywhere. It's going to give me my first purple line. And I am literally just clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging, clicking and dragging. And you can I believe it's up to 20 points that you can put on the map. And if I do that, I can actually save that polygon. So this works really well for places like Williamsburg that have two different MLSs where you need to pick up stuff from both MLSs. It also works great for things like Ghent or Greenbrier, where you have multiple subdivisions in a very wide area. You can just draw a polygon around the area that you'd like to do a save search on. I can actually save this polygon with no problem. So I'm going to hit save search. I'm going to save it for my website. And I'm going to put Governor's Land Homes for Sale. And hit submit. Let me show you what that will end up looking like if you were to share it out with the clients. Normally we would attach this to a page, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you what the save search would look like. So I'm live on Ralston's website here, and I'm just going to bring up the save search. These would be the houses that would be below that page that you built. So if you built something for Governor's Land, you would be able to show all of the different houses, and you can see how many are in both MLSs that are in here. Okay, so that's the polygon tool. That's how you pick up multiple MLSs and multiple property types in one save search. Does that answer your question?
And Kristen, you have
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You have a question from Amy Works.
Okay.
Hi. Okay, so I'm brand new, so this might be an obvious question, but when you create the site with the search in there, that search it's going to stay updated, right, with houses, new houses coming on the market and sold and things like that?
Oh, that's actually a great question that I should have covered right up front. Yep, that is the one beauty of the neighborhood save searches, is this stays up to date all the time. You do not have to touch that save search ever again. It updates as the MLS updates.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a great question. Sometimes I take for granted some of these easy things, so I apologize. Any other questions for me today?
Looks like Maura has a question.
Sure.
Hey, Kristen. I'm used to doing the polygon search on MLS and love it, but I couldn't see what you clicked on to actually get to the polygon on this website.
It might be, I'm just going to go ahead and clear this overlay so you guys can see it again. I'm going to try to blow up my screen, but it's at the very, very, very bottom. I'm not sure you guys can see it on this.
Yeah,
Let me blow up my...
Blow up, it disappears.
It does disappear. Okay.
Below your taskbar. If you go back down, it was visible. If you just, yep, there you go.
So can you see that, Mara, all the way down here where it says polygon? All the way down at the bottom?
No, where I don't see where you are. Are you on the drop down menu at the bottom of that?
I am, no, I'm not. I'm right next to it. There should be something that says on the very bottom, it should say map and it should say polygon, and you should be able to draw.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing that at all. So
are you seeing it? Are you looking at my screen or are you looking at your screen?
I'm looking at your screen.
Okay. It may just be a visibility issue. It's definitely down there at the very bottom on the map side.
Or she is down in the water. If you see the subdivision, and down below the subdivision, keep coming to the bottom of the screen above her start bar, and you'll see the little finger pointer down there.
So I have a bar that's in the way that is the mute button and the turning camera on, and I can't move that. And it seems like a lot of what you were doing was right there. Do you know how I can move that for future reference?
That's going to depend on your version of Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kristen, do me a quick favor if you just take a screenshot, and so you can move that up to center screen. Let's do a quick snip.
Got it. Now I see it.
Yep. This is what you're
Okay.
looking for right here, that little polygon tool at the very
Okay.
bottom.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions?